Hi there, and welcome to It Doesn't Have to Be Perfect, or welcome back to It Doesn't Have to Be Perfect. Before we get started today, I just want to say RIP to my glasses that I had just gotten, my dark ones. I'm back to my old glasses right now because on Saturday I went to this last minute pool party with my friend, and it was her friend's family, and I don't usually drink more than 2 drinks, okay? Because I'm very lightweight. But that night I was like, you know what? Let's take 3 shots and have 2 drinks. So I left my glasses there and I had to go back for them the next day. And I kept cleaning them over and over again to be like, what the heck is going on? It's smudged and it's gross. And it turns out they're actually scratched, actually scratched, and I'm so sad about that. So now I'm wearing my old glasses, and yeah, I'm kind of bummed about that because they cost me $200 out of pocket, okay? Because this is before I had insurance, so we love that. We love that. But anyways, today I want to talk about a quote, phrase, whatever you want to call it, that has actually changed my brain a little bit. I started this podcast because I couldn't start a lot of things that I always wanted to do for a very long time. And I kept telling myself, if I do this, it doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be this great production, because I didn't have the equipment back then. And I still feel like I can do a lot better, and I feel like that's a feeling that you're always gonna have, I can up it, and I can go one up, and that's a good thing, to an extent, because you always want to just grow and improve your craft. But at the same time, I was like, well, I'm not improving on anything because I haven't started. So instead, I just kind of told myself it doesn't have to be perfect. And that's what ended up being the name of this podcast, which I love. I feel like it still fits it very well. This was 2 years ago. So the fact that it's still very relevant to me tells me that I made the right choice. And I think I'm very much in a better place with perfectionism. But there are definitely still some things that I'm still working on and learning as I go. I've been reading a lot. But yes, the sentence that changed my life, and this is not even an exaggeration, because this is when I started to actually apply for jobs and actually just be doing all these things, is done is better than good. Done is better than good. Done is better than good. Yeah, I for the longest time was so down on myself because if I was gonna start something, I wanted to be very good at it right away. And that's obviously not the case for anything unless things just come to you naturally. And if that's you, I'm so jealous of you. But I have to work a little extra hard. I feel even as a kid growing up, my first language was Spanish. So school, just basic learning stuff as a kid, I had to work a little harder. And especially because oh my gosh, it's just a combination of just bad circumstances. But I also didn't know that I needed glasses until 3rd grade. So my first few years in school were pretty tough. I mean, as tough as it can get for a kindergartner, 1st grader, and 2nd grader. And even halfway through 3rd grade, before I knew that I needed glasses, I had to work a little hard, and I would get really discouraged. And I just remember being frustrated, and I would hide my school badge for the bus to pick me up from my mom, because I just didn't want to go to school. I didn't want to deal with it. I didn't know how to talk to people. I didn't know the language. I was still new to everything. And it made me stronger. It made me more resilient. But at the same time, it didn't need to be that difficult for me. But that's another story. And even all throughout high school, I was not I did not really care about school. I was just so involved in my personal stuff and with my friends and doing things and sneaking out and just being a rebellious kid that I didn't really care for school. I did the bare minimum. Again, I just didn't care. But then when I graduated high school, that's when I realized, I was oh, I need to figure it out. I need to figure out what I'm going to do with my life. It was very scary because I had never had any guidance on even applying to college. Even if it was community college, I just didn't know where to start. And as a first generation kid, or even as an older sibling, you're gonna relate to this, you know, because now I can tell my sisters like, hey, so these are the steps that you need to take. But because neither of my parents went to school here, my dad got his degree but in Mexico, you know, so he got his business degree. So I really was starting from scratch, and it was I remember so overwhelming. I would cry a lot. My first year of college, I cried a lot. I think there's even like this video. I'm gonna see if I can find it, but I think it's because I deleted my old Snapchat. But I remember that I had this video that I put up of me, like, you could see that I was crying, and I'm like holding my head, and I'm just like, F this, I am going to become a stripper. I literally posted that. I was like, I was so frustrated with school, could not just focus and sit down. I remember, there was a lot of brain fog. I don't know what was going on because I wasn't even like a smoker or anything, but sometimes I just couldn't concentrate, and I don't know. It was just really, really hard. I mean, now that I'm a little older, I can look back and be like, I was just frustrated because like I was kind of like catching up, because when I graduated from high school, I think I was like in sophomore math my senior year. So by the time I got to community college, they were like, okay, you're like below level 100. So you need to take like below level 100 classes, even though all my peers were taking like the 100 and above classes. And I was like, okay, cool. So I think my first semester in community college, I was just catching up. But damn, if me then, how old was I? 17-year-old me then could see myself now with 2 degrees, a bachelor's and a master's, she'd be like, damn girl, like we got through it. So I'm very, very proud of myself for accomplishing that, even though I don't feel like it's an accomplishment. Like, I just feel like I can accomplish so much more. Like, I feel like once you keep moving the goalpost, it's like, you're like, it's never ending. Like, there's always something new to look forward to. And that's okay. I think me being an ambitious person, I like that about myself because it keeps me moving. It keeps me rolling. It keeps me inspired. It keeps me on my toes. Something that I've really, really learned to embrace the last year is done is better than good. Done is better than good. And if you really, really struggle with, you want it to be like perfect, I would say done is better than good. Do the thing. Just do the thing, and you can just perfect it later. Like, as long as you start, because a lot of fear in all this is that you don't know how to start. So once you do start and you start figuring out putting the puzzle pieces together, just the one by one, it gets the ball rolling. You get in like that flow state and you start to figure things out. And I think one very important factor to this is also celebrating when you figure something out. Like, for example, like when I started to learn how to edit, it was very intimidating to me because I had always idolized YouTubers, and I just loved consuming media in general. I very much like love the entertainment industry, not, you know, the bad stuff, but like the good stuff. Like, I love storytelling and all that. So I was really intimidated to like even start. I was like, I don't even know where to start. But as I was figuring it out and just like trying all these apps and trying all these like things that I saw my favorite YouTubers do and kind of like imitate that in a way, because that's what I liked to see as a viewer, I was like, okay, I figured how to add this font, or I figured out how to import this music. And I kind of was just, like, giggle to myself like, ooh, like this is so good. Like, wow, look at me editing. Like, wow, I'm so good at this. Even though it's just like it's just like the little wins that you have to celebrate. Like, I emphasize that more and more because like getting comfortable with being uncomfortable, but then getting that reward, even though you were incredibly frustrated and you're on the verge of tears, because I've been there, it feels so good. It feels really, really good. I think that's the most rewarding part. Like, it's not even being done, but like the journey within it. Because I don't know. I think I needed this more as a kid as well. It's cool to know things. It's cool to like be able to explain something to someone else and you know exactly what you're talking about. Like, it's just cool to know things, you know, make learning cool. And I feel like compared to like the early 2000s where like being a smart kid was seen as like you're not very cool, or at least that's how it's portrayed in the media, right? I don't know if I would necessarily, well, actually maybe, yeah, I think in elementary school, you know, there was that one teacher's pet nerdy kid, but teacher's pet and nerdy kid might be just two completely different figures. But I know that when I have kids, I definitely want to make it so that there's always an incentive to learn something, because I've seen a lot of videos of people, instead of like giving their kids, say for example, the new Nintendo Switch 2, right? Is it the second one that's come out? Yeah. Which, by the way, I didn't even know like that there wasn't a second one already. I think Nintendo Switch has been around for a while, right? And I didn't even know that, like, I don't know. I don't know what I thought. I don't even play Nintendo Switch, so I can't even tell you. But instead of like just like having them do like a list of chores, or like, you know, earning their own money, like maybe like getting an allowance or whatever, they had their kid read a certain amount of books to be able to qualify, quote unquote qualify, to get the Nintendo Switch 2. And I thought that was just like such a good idea. I've seen a lot of like parenting videos like that, and I take notes. I take mental notes in my head, because I'm so glad I have waited to have kids, because the more I get older, the more I'm just like, I feel like I would be able to mentally be more prepared, and financially, obviously, because after I got my degrees, and now that I have my big girl job, I'm like, okay, now I feel like I'm capable of taking care of another life. But yeah, dude, done is better than good, because at least you're starting. At least you're getting something done. At least you're putting yourself out there and you're getting the ball rolling. Even if it's like, say for example, with the 2-minute rule. If you haven't heard of the 2-minute rule, I love the 2-minute rule. So say for example, you want to like start going to the gym, right? Or you want to start going for a run. 2-minute rule just says, put on the, you know, your sports bra, put on your shorts, put on your sneakers, put on your running shoes. And those 2 minutes of like just prepping, those are your 2 minutes of like, okay, 2-minute rule, just get started. It's just about getting started, really, because once you just break that little barrier, like, it's so much easier to go through with it. Like, for example, if in those 2 minutes you're able to just get in your car, you're like, well, might as well, because I'm already in my car, so I'm gonna go drive to the gym, and I'm gonna get a nice workout in. It's things like that, really. Or even like if you really want to write that script for that TikTok video, or for a movie that you want to write. I don't know what you'll be up to, but just writing like in 2 minutes, write as much as you can. Just gibberish. It does not have to be good. You just have to write something, whatever comes to your head first, whatever comes to mind first, you know, get the juices flowing. Oh, I hate that I used that. But yeah, dude, done is better than good. It doesn't have to be perfect. And if you really, really want it to be perfect, do it afterwards. But do it first and then make it perfect. Make sure to check out my merch. It's going to be linked down below. And yeah, comment what you thought about this episode. Subscribe for more. Oh, you know the drill. I hope you got something out of this. I definitely love sharing the things that help me personally as a freaking perfectionist. And oh my God, I really need to go back to therapy. I really need to find a therapist now that I actually have insurance. So that's going to be the thing I do next for sure. But anyways, yeah, love you guys. I'll talk to you guys in the next one. Bye.